Yeah. So yeah, you put out a song. Was it 2 days ago or was it?
No, it's February 19th to the people listening. Because this might come out like the
Yeah, true.
21st
True.
or so, like day or whatever. So it's like it's literally. I might as well just actually say the date, and it's just like a little reflection piece kind of thing. I mean, the way how the government set it up as far as culture wise, like they gave February uh, to my culture as far as saying Black History Month, but I don't know. It's just kind of a celebration piece. Just like the name of the song's "Super" in brackets, Black Heroes. It's just I want to give a little glimpse as far as like to any younger individuals who are similar to me that like, and it's not about just trying to be like, oh, yo, it's only for Black people, but it's like you want to be able to celebrate yourself and see how far you've come. Like even in my 30, well, 29, I'm gonna be 30 soon, but even in my almost 30 years, some of the stuff that I've accomplished or some of the stuff that I've overcome or whatever, and it's uh it's something that I wanted to put out. There's like certain ideas within the song, just as far as like less gun violence, more if we have to hash something out physically, I'd rather it be a fist fight versus somebody picking up a gun. Just things about just understanding that we're superhumans as far as being able to overcome things, be so resilient, and still see the beauty in life. There's just different little ideas and things like that sprinkled within the song. So, I mean, if it's anybody listening, if you want to check it out, just search Graham King and then
It will
Super.
be in the
And then,
description for sure.
or just, yeah, we'll definitely put the song in the description. But yeah, man, it was just something I was holding on to for a little bit because like I made it last year, but I made it for this purpose of like, yeah, I'm gonna drop it in February type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's just I'm trying to just like I start the song saying we saving lives with no cape on. And it's just as simple as saying like not everybody's gonna be like, oh, he's some knight, he's some shining armor knight wearing him up. Like that's not always how a hero like a hero might appear in one's life, but it's something that it's something I feel good about as far as just the idea of it. Like, and regardless if you want to go even broader and saying like anybody who's going to be facing certain things in life, overcoming certain things in life, and still seeing the beauty within life and not being so jaded and so hurt from the fact that like you're traumatized and how you like, your view of life is just so like, oh, I'll never love again, or oh, I'll never be able to do this again. Like being able to take those not losses, but take those lessons and keep moving forward. Like that's kind of the gist of it.
It's
I don't know.
so important what you said there, not being jaded by the things that had happened to you, like the bad things that have happened to you in the past. Like that's a hard thing for a lot of people to grasp with and grapple with, especially like if it's been like something really, really, really fucked up. Like I'm sorry.
It's all good. All good.
But like, yeah, it's hard for people to like not come out of that without that raw like or sort of like feel into it, but it's crucial. It really is. Like you gotta, it's not about like rising above it, but it's about I don't know. I don't know what the word is, like growing, like not even growing past it, but like growing around it sort of thing. Like it's still there, but like you've grown, like how a tree, like you'll see like a piece of debris, like a piece of metal, and the tree just grows around it sort of thing, or something like that, or a tree growing out of a rock. It's just, you're still growing, but it's just in a hard place or around a hard thing.
Yeah, man, that experience is a part of you, and it's something that you can't necessarily relinquish as far as like, oh, it never happened, but it's more of you choose to grow and move forward, or hence using the term super, like you're superhuman or you're a superhero in that regard, like which is kind of why I like phrased it like that. There's like it's in my opinion, it's so easy for us to have a like whether it's lifestyle choices, whether it's the people you choose to be in your life, these people can bring positives and negatives, or these experiences can make you have a positive mindset or a negative mindset towards life. And if you're able to overcome these things, like in my opinion, it makes you even more super than you think. Keep believing in yourself, keep moving forward, and understand, like, especially to, like, again, any, like, I'm specifically talking to, like, any, like, whether it's like little children or whatever, any of y'all youngins, just try to keep going. This world can be super tough, and sometimes the people who you love the most, sometimes they might even unfortunately affect you negatively. But try to build yourself up, be more resilient, keep going, love yourself first. That's why, like, I got another line in the song where I'm saying, like, these dimes a dozen, respect you first, my cousin. Less blickies, more fights with knuckles. But I'm saying, like, whether it's like a gorgeous woman who you're chasing after, or if you're a woman, a gorgeous guy you're chasing after, or whatever, it's a dime a dozen as far as, don't make that be your end all be all. Love yourself first, respect you first, and then keep it pushing. Because once you love you, you're going to be able to care about or whatever to other people properly. You're not going to be worried about certain insecurities you might have had, because you at least found it in yourself. I love myself. I respect myself. I'm not going to try to hurt nobody else because I know how it feels to be hurt, et cetera, et cetera. So just little pieces like that, bro. Like, it's a celebration piece to a degree, you know?
It's great, man. I love that you actually, like, it's not just like it's just not bars for you. It's like there's meaning behind these bars, and there's actually like purpose, like, I shouldn't say purpose, but you know what I mean? Like actual, like, substance and soul behind this, as opposed to just, trap beats and trap lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's so, like you said, it's easy to be dime a dozen out here, but like, it's that genuineness is really hard to get across to people, especially to the wider variety at some length to people. But it's worth it. It's always worth it.
Trent, like, one thing I've realized in this life experience or living or whatever is, no one's gonna love you more than you. And I'm using phrases like love and care and respect because we can all be like, we all have the ability to be vain or be like, say you accomplish something, we all have the ability to try to shit on somebody else or whatever the case is, because they might not have accomplished or they might not have what we have or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, your ability to love yourself is only gonna, like, project outward after you've found that within yourself. If you have if you're unfortunately, like, you despise, like, oh, I hate the way I look, or I hate that's what's going to project as well. So it's like, you kind of have to choose if that's how you want to live the rest of your life. Like, and again, these certain experiences, negative experiences, can happen, but if it's how we genuinely, okay, somebody said to me, like, life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you react / deal with it. So looking at it like that, like, somebody might be like, that's an oversimplification, but it's like, it's kind of real. Like, it's just, think about it. Whether you stub your toe, of course you can get all mad and yell and all that other stuff, or you could try to tend to the toe and, all right, let me make sure that I, like, put some ice on it, whatever. It's like, but you got to develop, like, a certain type of, like, mindset / rewiring of your brain to get to that point. So no one's going to be perfect at all, but how do you react to these things that happen to you? And whether it's you react in a loving way despite the situation, or you react like everything is like, woe is me, everything is, oh, the world's against me, that's going to determine how your life experiences goes until you pass away, literally. Like, so it's just something that like, it was said to me, and I was like, I held on to that shit, like, so close to the vest, because I was like, bro, that shit is so real. Like, friends of mine, like, which is, I'm glad that, you know what I mean, like, we're still connected and things of that nature, but certain other friends of mine, bro, like, and I could have known them for 20 years, 30 years, whatever. We don't talk, but when we do talk, it's usually because of some type of tragedy or something like that that happens that brings us together again. And it's unfortunate because these types of things, like, I don't want my life to be that. I want to build more connections. I want to stay in touch with people who genuinely care about themselves, because I feel like we once we are together, like, we can move so much further. Like, they say faster alone, but further together. Like, and I believe that shit, because it's so easy to try to, oh, the world's against me, this, that, and the third. But once you start building up your courage within yourself, and then you start finding other people who are like-minded, and you start building together and stuff, it's like you don't ever feel alone after that. You know what I mean? You can be by yourself, but you don't feel alone. There's a difference. So I don't know, man. Just certain things that are happening within, especially the past couple of years. Yeah, bro. A lot of perspective has been brought to me, you know?
Yeah, it's like first year all over again. I'm just sitting here mind blown by this. I'm just like, wow. Like, I have nothing other to say except wow. Like, wow. Like, I mean, literally, I couldn't have said that any better. Like, holy.
That's the thing, Trent. We don't know when the curtain closes as far as our life's play. And you can choose to go out on that stage, bro, and be yourself, or you can choose to go out there and put on a mask. And anybody who's similar to me, or cares about life, cares about themselves, cares about actually moving forward, progressing from negative, traumatic things that might happen, you're not going to want to wear a mask, because you're going to want the world to see the true you. You're going to want the world to see, hey, look, I'm flawed, but I'm not here to hurt people. I'm not here to harm myself. We got to move forward. And don't get me wrong, Trent. Like, if we put out, like, if you're a genuine person and you're talking about uplifting people, or you're talking about being positive or whatever, bro, that might not always reach the masses, because usually the bullshit or the sex or whatever, that's the type of shit that usually sells, right? So that's why, like, I realize now, as I'm putting out certain music and things like that, like, I might not ever go platinum or whatever, or sell platinum recording artist, I might not ever be that, Trent. But before I pass away, I want to make sure I leave my mark. I want to make sure that whatever I put out, if somebody ever does go back and research, oh, what was Graham about? They can at least see a little bits and pieces that make the mosaic of my life. That's why, like, my Instagram name is G Mosaic, because it's like multiple little pieces that make Graham. And you, hopefully, at the end of the day, you see that big picture. You know what I mean?
All the pieces matter.
Yeah, exactly. Every little piece matters, bro.
And it was back when you were saying about mass. There's a line from a Kurt Vonnegut book, Mother Night. It's be careful who you pretend to be, because you become who you pretend to be, basically. So it's really like the fake it till you make it thing is like the confidence wise and all that. That's a thing. But if you're trying to be something you're not, or trying to hide the fact that you're not, like, with all this, it's going to get, like you said, it's going to get shown. That vibe's going to, like, you're going to vibrate that energy, and somebody's going to feel that, and they're going to be like, oh, okay. And it took me fucking years to figure that out, man. Like, I wish I had known, like, this stuff back then, but, like, that's life, basically.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, like, it's literally, like, it's all about, like you said, loving yourself, number one, and being honest with who you are yourself too. To thine own self be true. Because, like you said, like,
my boy went Shakespeare on him, bro. My boy
oh
went,
yeah, oh yeah.
Who was that in Hamlet that said
that? Was
shit?
Polonius. That was one of his. He went on a whole thing about. That's almost at, like, the start of the play when he's talking to Laertes. That was, like, all in his advice for he gave him. Oh fuck, yeah, man! Now I want to go back to read some Shakespeare now.
I know, bro, because shit's deep, but it's like beyond. It's like beyond the grand scheme. Like, bro, nothing. I realize, like, of course, us as humans, we can make mistakes and things like that. But when we were talking last week via text or whatever, and I was saying, like, yo, I don't really believe in coincidences. Like, there's got to be some type of grand design, things like that. It's not about beliefs, regardless if you believe in anything higher power, not higher, whatever. These things when things piece together, and it's like, you say to yourself, this has to be, like, there might not be a mistake that was made, as far as just your journey. Like being able to control what you do, like that shit, like that's why I say like it's sometimes it feels like it's an illusion because you go through certain steps or something negative happens, and then a week later after the negative thing happens, you realize that that negative thing actually helped you, because if you didn't experience it, you would have messed around and went down the wrong path and this, that, and the third, or you could have been like, say for example, you see somebody, unfortunately, they're in a fight, blah, 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 blah. You go to break it up, the fight gets broken up, whatever. One of those people could have killed the other person in that fight. So you might have prevented some shit, but then say you don't stop the fight, and unfortunately somebody passes away, bro. You gonna feel like shit. I could have prevented that, and then you feel like now that
survivor's guilt,
bro. I hope, like, I might not be conveying it clearly, but what I'm saying is I don't think that certain mistakes are made. I'm not saying that humans don't make, like, we don't make mistakes and after the fact we're like, fuck, that was a mistake, I regret it, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about just grand design. Like when I look back on like the last year I had, bro, whether it's aunt passing away, me and my family getting closer, other negative things happening, certain things with my own mom, who unfortunately, like, well, we're finding that it's more positive than we thought, but so that's okay. But because I'm not feeling to put my mom's business out there. But what I'm saying is shit is real, bro. And we can sit there and worry about the superficial shit. But to me, bro, it ain't even that deep no more. Like as far as being like, yo, Instagram likes, and what if this person doesn't da-da-da, and what if this person, all that shit's not even that deep no more, bro. Like I used to care about this shit. Like, yo, I used to post like 3-4 times a day, bro, on Instagram, tripping and shit. I post like what, once every 3 months now and shit, because I'm so focused on loving my family and shit now, bro, and doing the things I want to do out here in these streets, as far as just going out and hanging with the homies or whatever the case is, enjoying ourselves, hitting up a bar, whatever. I'm so focused on these things that matter now versus the superficial shit that I thought did. I don't know. I don't believe that there's mistakes in life as far as the grand design. You have to go through things, or you might be like, man, I could have prevented blah, 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 blah. What if it wasn't supposed to be prevented? Or man, I should have did this. But what if you weren't supposed to do this, and this? Like, that's what I mean when I say, like, I don't think that there's mistakes. Like, you go through what you go through so that when you learn it, you understand, oh shit, you get that clarity. Oh shit, that's why that happened. You know what I mean? I don't know, like you might have a different perspective, but that's just what I've been realizing in my own life. You know?
Exactly. It's honestly like I'm pretty much in the same boat with that. Like coincidence, it's hard to quantify a lot of the things, like it's hard to quantify a lot of things that happen in life, especially like one after the other. This happened because of this. Like I can't quantify it all right now. So like I choose to believe the same thing. Like there's no such thing as a coincidence, but I don't have any explanation for my beliefs on that one.
No, bro.
It's a recent thing that I'm starting to come like grapple with like a bit more with that. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm still in a weird process with that all right now, with my spirituality, so to speak.
Bro, and don't get me wrong, things might not be for everybody. But all I could say is the energies that we put out, whether you look at it like angels, demons, whether you look at it like principalities, whether you look at it like shit, good or bad, you don't put any like label on. Like, in my opinion, these things are happening whether we want to like care for them or believe for, like, because you sometimes see it. Like, and it's like when you see somebody get so angry to the point where they can harm or kill or whatever the case is, and then you see the mother after the fact that the son or whatever is being trial for murder or whatever, then you see the mother, oh, not my baby, he would never do this. And like, they're all upset because they're thinking to themselves, how could someone who I loved on so much turn into such a quote unquote monster or whatever? It's like these types of things, like when you have to dig deep to get to that type of anger or whatever the case is to try to do these types of things. Or on the reverse, if something extremely positive happens where somebody hits the lottery and the first thing they do is go out and round up every homeless person that they can find and try to get each homeless person that they can find help or whatever the case is, it's like, how the heck did this guy go out of his way and be such a genuine soul and such a good soul that he would go out and do that type of stuff? Then you say to yourself, because we all have a right to just be selfish. Oh, I don't give a shit about nothing. I only care about me. But people go out of their way to be like the best they can and help others. It's like that person there has to be some type of good situation that person, like that's causing that person to want to go above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like the yin and yang of life. But at the same time, bro, it's like, that's why, like, me personally, I don't believe in the whole coincidence things or like, oh, like it just happened. It's like, well, did anything accumulate to make that shit happen? Maybe from childhood, something happened, bro, and you were like, fuck, if I ever get to the point of having a lot of money, because I'm poor right now, if I ever get to the point of having a lot of money, I'm going to make sure I help every other poor person I know. Like little things, little seeds that were planted when you were a kid or whatever, that when you're a grown man or a grown woman, that shit finally is the full tree and it blossomed. That shit is beautiful. That's why me personally, I don't believe in coincidences and shit. Like that shit, because when it happens and it's like at the right time, you meet the right girl at the right time, you meet the right homie at the right time, that saves your life. I had a homie tell me, yo, bro, if I didn't meet you, I probably would have killed myself a long time ago. I'm just like, whoa, but you can't really determine that. Like that shit just has to happen for you to understand, like, yo, this shit is bigger than me kind of thing. Like I that's why, like, I don't want to be out here talking about, yo, coincidences and shit like that, because nah, bro, that shit is real. Like everything is accumulating, whether it's fucking the universe, whatever. Everything is playing a role and you don't see it sometimes. But when it happens, you say to yourself, fuck, this was supposed to happen how it's supposed to happen, good or bad, in my opinion. It's kind of what I've been grappling with the past year, bro. Shit's real.
It makes when you lay it out like that, it makes a lot of sense like that. Basically, like, will X lead to Y sort of thing, but like it's pretty, especially in hindsight, you can sit and see, well, this led to this like all that. Like you can see all these things. Yeah, it's different, man. It's like, it's weird. It's weird looking back on like things like that, like, oh, this is what caused X, or you could see that this led to this because of that. It's like reverse engineering a car crash, or like reverse engineering like a growth of a human being. It's very, very strange, just that concept.
And the fact that there's so many different realities, like 7.8 billion people on the planet or whatever. There's so many different realities happening, bro. And then for if 2 or 3 realities fucking combined, or if 2 or 3 realities, like you and the homies, for example, all y'all, like you and, like what we were talking about before, you and such plan to go help such and such, and then eventually, if it comes into fruition, you guys made that shit happen. It wasn't coincidence. Like it wasn't like, oh shit, like how did this all come to be? It's like, no, like step by step, these things were happening. And you might not have been writing it down on pen and paper, like, yo, in February, we're going to do this. In March, we're going to do this. But when you see the plan happening, you can only look back and reverse engineer and be like, oh shit, these steps were taken. It's just, I didn't like define them as steps that were happening. That's the beauty of life to me, bro. Like being able to like see the beautiful tapestry that's made, but you don't know that you're threading the threads as you're threading them. It's a strange approach, you know?
And sometimes you can be consciously doing that, but at the same time, like when you look back, you're just like, yeah, fucking, I'm glad we did it like this way at this point. So it's not all like, you know, planning is a big thing, with especially like putting on, like doing things like of that nature. But like, yeah, big time planning.
Yeah, man. It's
not out here trying to be a fire festival.
I know, right? This guy's wilding. The flat there, bro, that shit was wild. But I don't know. And don't get me wrong, sometimes the plan doesn't go accordingly or whatever, but I like the fact that I like seeing plans come together that sometimes we didn't know that they were being planned. Like I like when things happen genuinely, or spontaneously, or what's the other phrase? Like serendipitous or whatever, like serendipity or whatever, like where it's like when, certain things come together for good, but you didn't know they were happening in the background. That type of shit is beautiful to me because it's like it kind of helps one see some beauty in the chaos. You know what I mean? Because you might be going through some hell right now, right? Like, oh shit, I did this to myself, I did this or I did that. And then after it all happens, you find yourself in a better position than you were before you might have hurt yourself or before you might have broke up with a girl or before you might have whatever. You find yourself in a better place and you're saying to yourself, all that had to happen for me to get right here. Versus when you're in it, you're saying to yourself, man, what was me? Da, 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 da. This is terrible, blah, 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 blah. It's so easy for us to, because again, back to the whole life, 10% of what happens in life, and then 90% is how we react to it. Like, bro, I'm telling you, I'm just trying to anybody listening, it's just like, I'm just trying to put the pieces together, form the big picture, and just hopefully it's a beautiful painting at the end, you know, because it's me who's doing the strokes of the paintbrush, but at the same time, it's like, you might think that you're making on some Bob Ross shit. You might think you're making some happy mistakes and shit, but at the end of the day, that shit turns out to be a beautiful as fuck painting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But that's, whether it's you, again, from just the start of the episode, whether you're being a superhuman or superhero, or you're right now, you're a young, if anybody's ever watched Daredevil, you might be a young Matt Murdock and shit. You know what I mean? You don't know that you're gonna be Daredevil and shit because you just went through a horrible experience. You got blind or whatever when you're a kid. But then when you grow up and you're Daredevil and shit, and you're helping save countless lives, you're thinking to yourself, "Oh shit! If I didn't get blinded as a kid, or if I didn't da 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 da, I would never be able to help all these millions of people that I'm helping." Like, it's just, sometimes you go through these experiences, bro, and in my opinion, we all have a right to feel bad because it's happening to us, right? But then when you get through it and you kind of can make sense of some of the chaos, I don't know, bro. It puts you in such a powerful place, aka causes you to be a superhero, damn near. You know?
I agree, man. Like, couldn't have said it any better myself.
It's real. It's real, man. But yeah, man. To anyone listening, I just hope that you try to hold on throughout the chaos. Try to hold on to the good in life. The good moments, man. Because it's like, it's so easy. Like, it's very easy for us to, and it's not about mental illness and things like that. I'm talking about being able to see that if you're given a tomorrow, there's a chance there for you to be better. There's a chance there for you to grow from said situation. Don't always focus, we can't always focus on just the unfortunate experience happening right this second. Because that will pass. You know what I mean? Hopefully that will pass, you know? But overall, above all, please love yourself, because you'll be less inclined to wanting to hurt or hate somebody else when you understand, hey, unfortunately, that person may not have gotten to that stage of loving themselves like I have yet. But all we can do is that, man, in my opinion. Otherwise, we're going to be some unhappy motherfuckers out here, you know? It
starts with you and it ends with you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like loving yourself and like loving other people. It starts with you and it ends with you.
Facts. Big facts. Yeah, bro. In anything, that's kind of where I'm at with it, you know? Caring, being able to say, yo, man, like, I've been through X, Y, and Z, but even though I've been through X, Y, and Z, that doesn't define me. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna allow that to ruin my life or make me be so affected by it that everywhere I go from here, I'm gonna make sure I carry that negative with me. Like, I can't allow that to happen, bro. Somebody who's been affected since a young kid and all the way up to like a grown age, bro, shit is real. And it's very easy for us to hold on to traumas and things like that. But me personally, I am not going to let it define me. I can't. Otherwise, like I'm gonna fuck around and self-destruct, and I refuse to self-destruct. That's one thing I'm not ever gonna do. So, you know, that's
I
just my opinion.
agree. I agree on all accounts there, man. Like I don't like I have same thing. I'm not wanting to go down that route because I've gotten this far and I don't want to just cash it in that fucking easily.
Yeah, that inner strength is needed. We
100%.
we're all superheroes in our own right, bro. And we don't need no capes and shit like that to show that or to prove that. But it's just like, again, above all, just if you can, anyone listening, love yourself first, man, because you're going to be less inclined to want to hurt people or even hurt yourself in the future when you understand, yo, I got to keep going. I got to keep growing. I got to keep being the best me. Like, once you understand that, bro, like, hey, you're unstoppable. So just try your best to get to that point, you know?
Trying my best. That's all I can say.
Yeah, bro. Because it's like the more you do, and the more like self like saying like positive affirmations, doing things like within your everyday life in the most like beneficial way, all that adds up, man. All those little pieces adds up to that beautiful picture at the end, you know. It, like we even just like I was talking to one of the homies, bro, and he was saying like the place where he works or whatever, people be out here fucking up and half-assing and shit like that, and being they're just basically, he was saying like, yo, people out here like they're slacking on their job and shit like that just because they can, and he's like, I'm gonna do it the best way I can, even though I have the same ability to slack on the job like them and still get paid whatever. I don't feel good doing that shit. And I said, that's dope of you, bro, because when nobody's looking, it's so easy to be all negative or be doing wild shit or whatever in a negative way because nobody's technically watching you, right? But then it's like when you're doing dope shit and there is nobody watching you, you're one of the dopest people out here because it's like you know, like, yo, bro, I'm gonna do this shit right versus, yo, I'm gonna just get it done. Like I don't know, like that's a different type of person to me. Like I respect the shit out of people like that. You know, you can half-ass because and still quote unquote like count it as getting the job done, but you say, nah, I'm still gonna give my full effort. That shit is beautiful to me, bro. Like
There's something I need to learn right there.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
hey,
Story of my
Trent.
life right there. Holy.
I mean, hey, bro. Well, hey, hopefully, me saying that or whatever, like, hopefully, it could spark something within you, and hopefully, you can turn it around as far as not half-assing, if that's what you were doing, not half-assing and shit, bro. Because you're kind of like we're kind of cheating ourselves when we do that, like, because it's like we at the end of the day, like you're gonna feel good knowing, yo, bro, I gave my best effort, and even if it doesn't get to the point like the result isn't what I had wanted it to be, I still gave my best effort. That right there, nobody can ever fault you for that. It's when you cheat yourself. Yeah, you might accomplish the goal or accomplish the mission, but it's like, yeah, but you cheated. You know what I mean? So it's like that's when it's like, you know what I mean? I guess integrity and shit, like on some like, I don't know, man. It's something that, because again, no one's perfect, but it's something that we all like. I strive to. I go 110%. Sometimes man's be slacking, but I feel best when I'm on my 100% shit. I don't know. I just that's kind of where I'm at with it, bro. Loving oneself
It
and
definitely feels better when
going,
you've given your all and
yeah,
it paid off instead of like half-assed. Like that's the thing. Like I've been half-assing it and it's paid off for me. So it's just like, oh, well, blah, blah. But the worst part is knowing you can do better. And it's just like, well, what if I just gave a little more of a fuck here and it could have been, you know what I mean? That's what gets me the most is like, well, if this is as good as it could be, well, I'm just doing it like this. What if it was, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that, frankly.
yeah, bro. But it's real. It's like we sometimes cheat ourselves or whatever, and it's and again, because it's not about judgment. Like, yo, you half-assed. What the hell? It's more about understanding. If you're gonna give your best effort, Trent, you're gonna get the best result. Like win, lose, or draw, you're gonna get the best result because you know you give your 100%. It's when we get those kind of cheap wins is when it's like, okay, yeah, I still won, but again, I cheated. So it's like did I really win, or would I have won if I didn't kind of like bend the rules or you know what I mean? Like, but beyond that, man, it's like because again, it's usually so easy for us because we feel like, oh shit, I can do it because no one's really watching. But it's like, why not improve your conditions? Why not improve one's lifestyle? Why not go above and beyond to give the best you? Because at least once you get to where you want to go in life, you can sit there and be like, shit, I really got here. I really accomplished it. Versus they're always wondering, what if? Like, fuck, man, what if I would have gave 100% on my test and got a good mark? Opposed to half-assing it. I passed, but now I passed, but my mark's not good enough to get to here. Like, shit like that, just using that as an example. It's like, fuck, man. But again, no one's perfect, and it's not about me trying to judge anybody because I'm not perfect in any way. But I'm saying, fuck, man, I just realized we can improve our conditions mentally, physically, where we are in life, our lifestyle. Granted, we gave our 100%. And again, life's not fair, so you might not win every time, but at least you know you didn't cheat yourself. And I guess that's kind of how I rest at night. That's how I look in the mirror and say, fuck, bro, I'm Graham. Like, I'm knowing I'm not cheating myself. You know what I mean?
It all comes back to what we were talking about earlier about to thine own self be true. And that was one thing I was going to finish off with on that point with that was you got to look at yourself in the mirror. It's only you at the end of the day. So like at the end of the day, you got to come home and live with yourself. Like everyone else stops at that front door. But when you get inside this front door and it's you in your own home and you look at yourself in the mirror, there's no one else there but yourself. And if you can't do that, you're lost. Hey,
bro, shit, we can end it on that, bro. Just, just as far as just understanding, like, yeah, bro, it's you whoever's listening, it's you who has to look in the mirror and think to yourself, am I being the best me or did I give it my all? Because we got to live with ourselves, and that's just the reality. It's like no one else can do this for us. So if you're going to give your best effort, at least you know you didn't cheat yourself. And at least when you look in the mirror, you can say to yourself, did I lose? Am I lost? Because if not, then you winning, baby. Man, that's the reality.
Exactly.
But to those listening, my name is Graham.
I'm Trent.
And this has been another episode of Ultra Fly Talk. We appreciate you guys rocking with us.
For real, for real.